Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're joining us from around the world. Welcome to Web3 Warriors, Season 4, Episode 67, featuring Jigar, aka Metavoxelz, an amazing builder of digital assets in the Metaverse, and a Voxels extraordinaire. How you doing, Jigar? How are things going?
Hey, what's up? What's up, David?
What's
Three,
up?
three is a lucky number for me. So third
That's it.
time. Yeah.
We're excited. We're excited to have you back, and I'm glad you're able to join us from India. We're a little bit later in the day than usual. I think it's like 3 a.m. for you or something now. So
Something around there.
yeah, you're used to working on our Western Hemisphere time zone, eh?
Yep, definitely. Absolutely.
Well, I appreciate you, and thanks for being able to join. So yes, as I mentioned, this is episode 67, also the first episode of season 4. Thank you everyone for joining. I'm David Krome, your host, go by Krome in the Metaverse, and we are excited to continue pushing forward, with Web3 conversations and really just talking to amazing builders and creative people and developers, anyone from Web3 and blockchain really who is helping push the space forward, especially right now as it is a little bit of a quieter time in the Metaverse, on the blockchain, in this Web3 space. It's an even better time to really be talking to people who have their heads down, really building and creating really awesome pieces on the blockchain, as well as projects looking into the future and offering some interesting utility. So we have some really cool guests kind of lined up for this season that we're looking forward to. And we're also trying to branch out a little bit more, get more active on the social medias and stuff. So you'll be seeing more clips and things from the Web3 Warriors. So we're excited about that. But today we're kicking off season 4 really with a conversation about Jigar's amazing new drop that he just had this week that everyone's got to go check out his Twitter and a nifty gateway drop to really learn about. But it is a music video that is in the Metaverse, and it's also featuring a few names that we're familiar with, a couple that we've had on as guests on this show, Low Sleazy, Kane Mayfield, also DJ Booman, who's a very established producer in his own right, going back to traditional music, as well as Trash Lights helped out on that a bit. So these are people that we're familiar with in the Web3 space and the blockchain community, and it's just been really exciting to kind of see their collaboration come to life on this new kind of way that Jigar has kind of pulled it together and really made a genuine music video in the Metaverse, or at least in the digital space, I should say, in Blender, and really using his 3D architecture knowledge to really build a really cool piece that we're going to be diving into, and of course we'll share with the audience as well. So I'm really excited about that, and happy to have Jigar joining us. So I think the broader topic of this episode can also be, collaboration in Web3, and specifically music collaborations in Web3, and how maybe it's music that pushes this the envelope for Web3, as we've seen art kind of made the initial big splash, and it continues to sell a lot of really great art projects on the blockchain. But when it comes to music and really, carving out a niche for the music space in Web3, there are a lot of different artists who have been able to do it really well. And we've seen that it's never just an artist, creating music on the blockchain. There's always a community, a broader kind of fan base that they bring with them. And so with that, I think the question becomes, can music be the impact that the blockchain needs, and maybe even the impact that the metaverse needs? As we've seen, a lot of different metaverse spaces have been a little bit quiet right now, and there's a lot of need for genuine involvement, genuine reason for people to go into the metaverse and have fun, connect, talk, build, sell, their goods and services on the blockchain in the metaverse. So I think that music might have a really important role in that as we see the evolution. So we're going to ask Jigar about that, as well as a lot of interesting questions about his creativity so far. Without any further ado, maybe we'll jump over to Jigar. I'd love to hear from you, and I know it's getting late for you, so we'll try to keep it tight today. Won't be one of the most long-winded conversations, but we'll see how it goes. But before we jump into the music video, I'd just like to hear, what's keeping you busy in Web3 right now, Jigar, and how are things going?
Hey, thank you so much, man. David, it's always a pleasure talking to you. What's going on in Web3? Lot of learning, lot of, observing, lot of the technology is so fast at the same time. It's difficult to, keep up, but, I've been trying to be there, be everywhere, in fact, trying to keep up with the pace. And so much learning. Yes, the blockchain and the NFT market for now is a bit slow, and that gives a lot of opportunity to learn new things. And thus, I've been putting my head down, trying to ignore all the noises, because this is this time where there is a lot of noise as well, lot of different facts and things that you come across all day, and which might not need to affect you, but it does. It changes the energy that you put on in your work. So you have to stay away from those noises, and it's a time to learn. An artist's work is to keep doing the art, keep fueling the passion, and keep learning and keep growing, and that's what I've been trying to do, my friend.
That's amazing, man. And I think it's an inspiration to all of us who, see you continuing to build, putting out really new, awesome, creative Voxels creations for the most part, but you're also just out in the community encouraging others as well, which goes a long way, I think. So that's amazing, man. So I was thinking maybe before because I have a lot of questions about the music video. So I think for any possible viewers and then listeners down the road who are not familiar with Low Sleazy, Kane Mayfield, DJ Booman. DJ Booman's the only one we haven't actually had on the show yet, and I'm hoping I can sit down with him one of these days and definitely have an in-depth interview, because he's got some really cool projects around just beats that he's put on the blockchain, and people can buy them and kind of remix them and do their own thing with them. But when it comes to Low Sleazy, Kane Mayfield, and how they've been able to kind of put out really amazing rap on the blockchain, it's been inspiring to be able to see that, and then for you to take all three of them and kind of combine it is just really amazing. So I was thinking we'll actually play the video, if you don't mind, first for anyone watching, any listeners, to familiarize themselves, and then I'll definitely have some questions around the inspirations behind it and everything like that. But without further ado, maybe trigger warning for anyone who there's a little bit of cursing. It's very American. I'll say that in my Canadian lexicon, but let's listen to it. It's really cool, it's awesome, and shout out to DJ Booman, Trash Lights, Low Sleazy, and K Mayfield for putting this track together, and to yourself for this amazing visual experience. So let's give it a quick listen here.
Should we build strong relationships with neighbors and then share the gospel, or witness to them right away?
I would be loath to say there is one way to relate to your neighbors, because they're different and you're different, and situations are different. You see the guy digging a ditch, offer to dig a ditch. Don't say, before I help you dig your ditch, can I tell you the gospel?
Yo, Boom Man.
Yo.
It's a neighborhood gospel. It's the
blockchain jewelry.
Blockchain jewelry?
Blockchain jewelry.
Let's fuck it up.
Yeah.
Yo, flew to LA to get this shit done.
Buy my NFT.
Back when I lived in Mexico, Alpha was my barber. I paid him extra, bought him gear to cut a nigga sharper. Ain't know it was my destiny. Now I got the Alpha for the recipe. It's Web3. Jewelry for the neighbors starting car. Check that. Public is the school and fuck your publishing. Republicans be steering for a hearing. What the fuck this nigga do? Is it rapping? Does it count as crypto? He paying taxes? I'm on my own business. Why don't y'all consider that shit? Slave masters wanna keep the people broke. I took your advice. This ice come from sweeping up the flow. We'll never lay bricks for a business we couldn't own. So go down or go down. Anybody get smoked. The unaccredited, I don't invest. I'm just generous. I cop the homie work, cause the only work is degenerate. My sentences, lit this derivative. Penmanship, they sold us rugs. We thugs were dealing in the tenements. With cops out, we scared. Now I cop house with guaps that was dropped out of air. Don't ask me, my last piece dropped on a bed. Barry brought it on the curb to get the fuck out of here. Cause the spot getting red. On that new shit, niggas like, oh, the proof is in the work. Don't ask me what I saw. I'm blocking out the chains, gang, in the ghost. Said we all gon' make it, just the keys to the vote, nigga.
From the old school, when niggas used to die about nothing. This is new school, niggas still down about nothing. I ain't crying about nothing. It's the world, nigga, fuck it. Where the bang for the buck is where I'm trying to be at. Bitcoin, Ethereum, I don't want your fiat. Look in the mirror, nigga, I don't wanna be that. I said I've been back, niggas catching up. I mean, I am that. They was just acting tough. When you give me everything, bitch, that's enough. I am nothing like them, no comparing us. This for real niggas. If you just hearing us and not feeling us, then you probably sus. Back as fuck when you add it up. All the real niggas up, all the bad bitches down, and that low life nigga walking around with a crown. Ring the alarm, nigga. Here come the pastor.
That's it. I love it. And then you got the little portal at the end, which just makes me wonder, where are they walking off to? I don't know. It's a mystery. Are we going to find out in part 2, right? So first question I have is really just, what inspired the different avatars, that you've used, and really just this concept of bringing these guys into the metaverse and like in this purely digital form, What was the inspiration behind this really awesome piece of art? And thank you for letting us share it with the viewers and listeners here.
Inspiration, there's no inspiration. The people I've been working with, Low Sleazy, Kane Mayfield, DJ Booman, Trash Lights, these are the people who I learned about Web3 from, These are the ones who hold spaces for other people from around the world to be able to speak about themselves, speak about their art. And I've been with them for the last 2 years. And believe me, it's them that a lot of us owe to, because the space has not been, at a steady pace or at a consistent pace. There have been a lot of times where you don't know what's going to happen next. And these were the people who were there, who did not give up. And looking at them, at least me, I had that energy, that there are people with me. I'm not alone in this. And these little things are very important in the whole time, because being alone or, having to meet new people every time, or, going across chilling is not, I don't think, the way that you're going to build community. The amount of time you spent with people in this space, you know them better, the chemistry goes better. And then you see this project, it took you 2 years for us to come to a point where we came together and we worked on something. So I think the whole journey was an investment to reach at this point where you're comfortable with others. And it only grows when you add more people to your project. Like a single person, like I can be proficient in my voxels and animation, but I would never be able to rap in their way. And these people are so passionate in what they do. And I am very passionate in what I do as well. So it only adds value. It is only fun, and it's funny. The energy is beautiful, is wonderful, while working, constantly listening to their songs, because
No doubt.
you're already a fan. You already like those people for who they are. And then the music just tops up as the cherry on the cake. So it was a wonderful experience, and the energy is what got it here where it is right now. Yeah.
That's amazing. So maybe one key word might be consistency, in the fact that these people you've been around have been consistently available and kind of sharing their creations, their projects that they're working on, many different projects. Like we've seen Kane Mayfield put out how many different tracks on different blockchains. It's an inspiration to a lot of us. Low Sleazy's been holding space and also putting out music on the blockchain in a lot of ways. And then DJ Booman, like I was mentioning before, really dropping beats and letting people kind of, those who own the beats on the blockchain can make a spin-off or create their own kind of version with it, or create a track using his beats. So yeah, definitely the consistency and the fact that they're always there and they're always kind of working together. It was only a matter of time maybe before this collaboration would really come to fruition. But I have to ask, like, looking at the details in each of these scenes, right? The way that it moves between scene to scene, you got like, I don't know how many different individual voxel cubes in each one of these scenes. It's insane. The dancers are all well detailed. And then right off the bat, you've got that citadel, which is like really amazing. So how did you manage to kind of do that? And how much time exactly did it take you to build all of this?
Okay. So the song was shot like a year ago. I mean, it wasn't shot, it was recorded a year ago. Low Sleazy and Kane Mayfield coincidentally were in the same state, like were in Los Angeles, and another friend, Mr. Hodler, who's been with us in this journey, booked a record studio for them for 6 hours, and they recorded a bunch of songs. And this it started from friends, meeting up and doing something for each other. And for the next 6 months, they have events. They have their own NFTs. They're working on the music as well, But they played this song a couple of times, And DJ Booman was the one who produced the beats, and Trash Lights was the one who mixed the song. And there was a Twitter space going on where we were all in a Twitter space, and closely we played the song. And I don't know, I just saw the whole song playing in front of my eyes. Like, I could see that I could see 60% of what you see in the video. I could envision that, and it happened so naturally. I didn't even know Blender, to be serious, that much when I started off. But I knew that if I am doing this, not only would I have fun, but it would be, because I'm doing with the people I'm doing with, it would give me the motivation to, learn, to do better, to, to reach that point, that vision that I have in my head. And I knew it. And that's what happened. It motivated me to learn more, do better. And I don't know about everyone else, but I'm amazed by my own creation.
I am very amazed. I didn't think that a purely Voxels music video could even work, let alone be super entertaining and really engaging and very creatively, impressive, artistically impressive. I'm looking at this blockchain gospel citadel. It looks like how long did just that one building take you to build? And can we go explore it one day? Are you going to plop it into the actual metaverse so people can walk around in there, or what's the situation there?
These are all 3D assets, and everything's done in 3D. So I am going to put all of this in a metaverse so that you don't have to just view it, you can experience being there. Try to add the animations as well, so that you have everyone dancing around you while you're in your avatar. I'm trying. It's a work in progress. Like I said, there's so much learning every day, and that's where I am. I'm just trying to catch up and do everything that I want to do. It's fun. It's fun being able to do all of this with the people that you love, that you've grown with, that you've had this journey with, and
That's awesome, man. So looking at these kind of three avatars, right? So Low Sleazy's got his Bored Ape in the jumpsuit. It's kind of obvious what inspired that avatar, right? He's always repping the Bored Ape for sure. And then you got DJ Booman's got kind of like a, I don't know, cyborg techie suit going on, and Kane Mayfield probably looks the closest to his usual self. But what kind of inspired these different avatars, and did each of the artists kind of have their input on what their avatar was going to look like, and you just tried to match as close to what they requested, or how did that work?
So the avatars, if you remember the first interview that I did for Web3 Warriors, there was a project where I did avatars for 9 people who I wanted to thank, for holding spaces for others. And they're Low Sleazy, Kane, Ope, journalists, all of these people were a part of it. And I already had their avatars. But, being in the space, being in the metaverse, building for people constantly, having projects in the metaverse, you kind of have an idea where you wanted this to go, or what else can you can incorporate metaverse with, or are these avatars with. So this is just me playing around my previous projects. So like I said, I think I even mentioned this in the previous in Web3 Warriors interview, that it doesn't end here. These avatars, I'm going to do more with these avatars. I want to do more, and none of my projects just end there. So this is just me coming back with that project, that now it's time to use these avatars for even more bigger things like music videos, or, short skits, or interviews, or so many different things that you could do. And I just want to play around and explore the different possibilities, of the things that I've already done, because art doesn't just end there. For me, it doesn't. My projects, those just don't end. Even some of the other characters that I've used in the background are connected somehow or the other way in other projects that I've done previously. So I'm just trying to link it up, have a story in there, as plus have my story in there, connect it in some or the other way.
No doubt. Yeah, we're just walking around your Metavoxelz headquarters, so I saw those avatars you're referring to, and so Kane's avatar here and Low Sleazy's avatar would have been the same you used in the music video. You just kind of had different clothing, maybe.
No, it's the same
It's
clothing.
the same
as
clothing
well.
even. Yeah, no doubt. Nice.
Because that's their brand, right? I tried to create a brand identity for the people I make avatars for as well. So yeah,
That's awesome. And how do you see kind of the economic side of things? So like I mentioned earlier, right, like these are all digital assets that you could in theory, you know, make an NFT and put it on the blockchain. Like you got Kane's blimp there, which is awesome. You could sell that, you know, and like someone could buy the blimp, you know, and have Kane's blimp above their property or something, or even like they have hats or different kind of like clothing on. So each one of those can kind of be broken down. Are you looking into kind of the NFT side of this? Like, let's say, you know, you've got this NFT on sale till tomorrow and maybe you'll extend it or put it, relist it afterwards. But that's for the music video, right? And so once that is sold out or sold as many as you like and you've cut it off and no more minting is happening on the music video, have you looked into potentially, you know, having assets from the video that you put for sale? Or, you know, what's kind of the next step with these? Because it just seems like a whole community of digital assets that you've now created that, you know, it'd be a shame to just stop at the music video, you know? So I'm just curious, like, is there anything we can see kind of springing out of that on the NFT side?
Absolutely. So everything like this, like the avatar on the avatars are metaverse avatars. So every part that you see on there is an NFT. So like the hands, the legs, the shoes, the shirt, all of them are NFTs. So definitely those are merchandise that you can collect. I do have to list them again as usual, but all the assets on there are metaverse. They can work on any metaverse platforms. The best part about 3D animation or 3D assets is that you can use all of them. Everything you see in the video can be used, and yes, we are planning to put them out for sale, or probably not sale, but to thank the collectors of the NFT. Most probably airdrop it to the ones who have collected.
Let's go.
Because you know, for everything, every now and then, you know, bringing something to earn, you know, make something out of the art doesn't make sense. There's always some way. We all of us, you know, agree that there's always something that you have to give back to support the collectors as well. Because if you see the space, the collectors are also blindly, you know, supporting the artists, the ones who are. So there's always scope with these assets to, you know, give back to the community, give back to the collectors, and, you know, keep a good, healthy relation with them. So that's the way we want to go.
Nice. That's awesome. Well, as a collector, I'll look forward to that for sure. And I'm looking at these other avatars you built, and I still want one of Terry's R2D2 guys. I don't know how I get one, but I want one.
You haven't got one yet?
No, I haven't got the R2D2 yet. No, I got a few. I bought the journalist one, the bundle, so I had a few of those. I got those cool purple shoes and stuff. But yeah, I got to buy that R2D2. So I can show it off to my son. He loves Star Wars. But yeah, so I was curious, how long did it take you to make that blockchain gospel citadel? It's just so nuanced, and like there's a lot going on there.
Itself took around 2 to 3 days itself. So
yeah.
I started working on this on 25th of March, and this ended at 21st of June. So it was almost 3 months down there doing the whole video.
That's
like, it's a lot of learning, you know. I had a vision of what I wanted it to be. I didn't know a lot of it, but I knew I wanted it to be like that. So there was a lot of learning, a lot of, you know, trial and error, a lot of videos that I did not use as well because they weren't perfect. But at the end, I like where it is right now. So
impressive. So how does Blender play into this? So you said you use Blender to do the actual animation. So maybe you could step us, like, what's the step before Blender and then animating it in Blender?
So before Blender, all the assets and everything you see on there was first made in Voxels, which is an open source Voxels editor. Then once your assets are made, you take all those assets in Blender. You have to rig every character, you know, construct every bone part for every character on there, and then, you know, animate them. So every frame by frame. So these are every video you see there our pictures, like every frame was individually taken, rendered, and then cut, clipped, edited,
So
post.
intense, bro. That's so intense.
Yeah, it's difficult to explain how the process in words, but yeah, it was.
I can picture it. It's like a digital version of a classic cartoon. it's like really going frame by frame on a old school cartoon. You use like a flip book, but it's digital. So you actually have to do each individual frame. How do you manage to get the dancing to be so fluid? Are some of them pre-programmed kind of dance moves and stuff?
So some of the moves, like the dance moves especially, were recorded by my motion capture. And there are pre-recorded motion capture renders that you can copy or you can imitate you can have your avatars imitate. So those are all motion captures that you can use today. So websites like mixamo.com, definitely people who are into 3D design or who want to get into 3D design should definitely check out Mixamo. They have their own plugin for Blender that helps you with connecting those. So it is Blender, but then there are add-ons that different people who already established in Blender that provide. So that is something that I made use of.
Mixamo, is that Mixamo?
Yes, absolutely. Wow. It is an Adobe.
And it's kind of an easier animating software, or?
Yeah, they are rigs or motion captures that are saved that you can use, that are open source for designers to use for animation.
Cool. So you had mentioned this off the top, and I know I haven't seen another music video in any metaverse that's like as purely digital as this, but especially in Voxels. Is this the first like Voxels music video that you're aware of, at least? It was just yesterday that I think Kane mentioned that someone's done Rare Vandal has done a video in Voxels, but then he also said that it was nothing close to what I did. So I don't want to say anything because I've never watched it. I just love what I do, and there's no competition. I just want to be motivated to keep creating different things, but. Yeah, I don't have the habit of saying, first. Yeah, no, it's dangerous. It's dangerous to do on the blockchain. You never know.
I'm surrounded with wonderful artists.
Yeah.
And I can never have that. And the best part about it is, you can never come to that point, where you can say you are the best, and you shouldn't come to that point.
Right.
There's always hope for learning. And and I haven't been seeing every artist's work out there because there's so many.
For sure.
Yeah.
Of course. That's why we always got to qualify with, that we're aware of, who knows what's out there on the blockchain. But it is one thing to just walk through Voxels and have your audio going behind it and maybe, do a little bit of acting and thing. And I've seen some versions of that and even just like more storytelling in Voxels, which is really cool. But I haven't seen as many people actually doing like a full-on music video with different cuts and shots and like really just seamlessly kind of moving between scenes and everything. It's really next level, man. So I hope that it is the first of its kind, and I think it is, as far as I know. Is there going to be a part 2, or have you decided on that yet, or you're just head down, let's sell these NFTs and make some moves and decide what we do next after?
Everything happens so naturally, and I'm not forcing anything to happen. I've left it open-ending because, yes, it's low sleazy, Kane Mayfield, DJ Movement. We are always together. It's our people. It's the people from the community. Yeah. So why not? When it clicks, it clicks. We're not going anywhere. We are here to do amazing things, and it will happen. But I'm not putting it on the timeline or forcing anything. Everything happened naturally so far. And whatever happened wonderful. So
let's go. That's what's up. I'm just thinking because, we're always hanging out in Blockchain Gospel, the community. Shout out to Clubhouse. It's on Twitter too, but mostly on Clubhouse. And I'm just thinking like a future where we can actually go like congregate in this digital citadel, and like hang out in the room while also hanging out in the metaverse. It might be a thing. And who knows what springs out from that. You could have like a little art corner. You could have a little music corner. It's just like my mind goes into, all kinds of different directions just watching this video on repeat here. It's quite impressive, man. So looking at the broader topic that I was mentioning off the top, and the idea that maybe music can be the motivator, can be like the impact that Web3 needs, but even what the Metaverse needs, right? Because like you say, it's kind of quiet, and I feel like musicians naturally bring fans with them, right? And so there's naturally a kind of community base that can, you know, kind of maybe help bring things to life. What impact do you think music will play or should play kind of in the development, first of the Metaverse, and then we can talk about the Web3 and blockchain more broadly. But looking at the Metaverse, like, you know, we've seen the Metaverse Music Festival, for example. It's had differing success when it's like kind of community-based. The ones we saw in Voxels, kind of the original Metaverse Music Festival, have been really impressive and exciting. And on the flip side, you've seen kind of the way that Decentraland kind of did it, which I think was a little bit more, I don't know, you know, corporate, if you will, and less exciting from what I saw. I only dropped in very briefly, but, you know, you look at those two versions, it's almost like it could be done wrong or it could be done right. And it comes down to, you know, who's leading the charge and, you know, what music corner is kind of building this up and doing it in a genuine way. So how do you see music impacting the Metaverse? And do you think there's a potential there? Or?
I definitely see potential there. Music is used for a number of things, you know, for movies, and it has reach more than anything. It has, it checks out more senses, if you understand what I mean. You're not just seeing, you're listening, and it brings more feel. There's more impact of music. This is, if you see Web3 space is just like hip hop in the 90s. You must have heard a lot of people say that. And music has always been an important part of revolution, or, you know, a big change, a mass change. So obviously, I think that, no doubt, and it also brings people together. Music by itself, there's so many different things in music that bring people together, like instruments and the vocals and the mixing, you know, and for a long time, you know, you see artists on here having their, it's either the PFPs. Now the PFPs that you see, those are group projects, but those are not art based. Those are mostly business based or a roadmap based thing. But when you see one-on-one art, you don't see a lot of collaborations because it is always single based. But if you want the space to grow, it's always when you collaborate. There's more than 2 people or 3 people when there's a bigger firm or a bigger thing happening. So I definitely see music creating a bigger impact, you know, bringing more. When you say community, it's obviously not one person, you know, and Web3 is all about community. So I think slowly these relationships that people have built in this journey, it's time where, you know, they find each other, they sense each other's strengths and their own weaknesses, and, you know, fill up the gaps where it's missing and move ahead. And I think that's beautiful when that happens, right?
Most definitely. I think you're right. I mean, it's going to be slow but steady, but the growth is going in the right direction. Shout out to Ingrid. Thanks for dropping that link for mixamo.com in the chat. Appreciate you. So what do you think about NPCs in the Metaverse? Like, do you think that there needs to be a kind of, like, I'm looking at these avatars you had dancing behind Low Sleazy, for example, right? And this kind of like, even though we know they're not even attached to a real person, they're not meant to be, but they add a kind of livelihood, you know? And like, does the Metaverse need more of that? Does the Metaverse need more just cool kind of like NPCs, which I'm sorry, that's gamer speak. So it's a non-player, I don't even remember what the C character, right? Non-player character, right? Yeah. So does the Metaverse need more of that? Just computerized people to kind of make it look more full? It's a question I've seen a lot actually pop around on LinkedIn, which is an interesting corner of the digital space that's slowly starting to get more into Web3. And I've seen this question come up, like, does the Metaverse just need more NPCs to make it look more full? And that could help with like bringing more people into there more regularly. What do you think about that?
It definitely does. I think, you know, it's all about how you balance your background, how the theme, what services or what product you have in the Metaverse, or what you want to and there are different things in the metaverse that you can add to to enhance the experience, like even interactivity, putting buttons where photos change, or little things that bring attraction or want you to to drive your fuel your curiosity to someone's curiosity, to fuel someone's curiosity to what is that or why is that there. So there are a lot of things that you can add, and NPCs are obviously a very important part of it. Even interaction, I see that with the growth of AI, these NPCs can be also somehow in the future be attached to AIs, have AIs
Yeah.
in them, so they can even be answering people's questions, and you could have your own data sets given to these AIs so that they're controlled in your control, or whatever special specification you want them to do.
Right. So they can even have like certain kinds of niche topics that they're there to talk about, and you can ask them questions and things like that, and almost like a chat bot. That's interesting. Yeah. And I do, like you say, that adds, just more functionality, more things to engage with, right? And is it easy to add buttons like what you were just describing right now in Voxels, like where you click a button and it changes your picture and things like that? Is that something that's doable right now?
Depending on the platform, what language they use, so there would be the knowledge of scripting, like specifically for voxels you would need to know JavaScript, and that the language to be able to
Right.
tell it to do what, to guide, to command it to do what you want.
So with a little bit of dev support or scripting language, you can do those kind of things already in Voxels?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
wow. Yeah, we're still building out our little corner of the metaverse, and I'll be leaning on you a little bit for that, Jigar. Really more of an NFT gallery and esports corner that we're trying to build out. But yeah, it's exciting because, like you say, there's so many different angles you can go, and I want to try to do something a little bit out of the box, and like you say, kind of have things there for people to engage with and check out, whether there's people there or not. I'm looking at your Metavoxelz. What do you call them? They kind of look like Gundams to me. But I'm curious, how are these kind of playing into your broader plans for the metaverse? And are you, mixing kind of different projects you're working on? Like you've got this really cool music project now, which you've created a whole bunch of amazing digital assets for that are, yours to take and kind of do with what you want. And then you've got stuff like this, these cool Gundam suits and things that people can buy in the metaverse to wear around. Are you kind of looking at all of this as like your own Metavoxelz ecosystem and kind of planning to build into the future, somehow combining the different projects you've got all under your umbrella there?
My life has all been all about mecha suits, as you see behind me.
Yeah, they're awesome.
For me to build this,
right?
And when someone can take 2 years to build something like this, obviously you would know, like, the passion for mecha suits or something like that. And my next project I am working on, I want to keep moving ahead, keep growing, keep learning. And I have had a good experience, like 5 years of experience in 3D printing. So I am trying to bring in an IRLX aspect, which would be mostly accessories or something like that, connected to an NFT project where I could bring more artists. I could involve more artists, different artists. Sorry, I think I was moving away from the questions. Yes, I am working on. Yeah, I am moving ahead in that direction where I can incorporate my love for mecha art and my 3D printing skills. And if you've seen the projects that I've worked in the past, right from Renaissance City or the Metaverse Avatar project or this music video, it's all about me trying to find ways to involve more people, because I am also learning people skills or what communication gaps are, because these little things, problems of communication can bring a lot of problems. So I'm constantly learning communication, or also understanding myself where I fall. I am behind in communication or something. It's a learning process. So I'm trying to keep having projects where I can learn how to work with more people, because I think that is where this is going. Talking about DAOs or communities, there are ways to lead a bigger group of people with you, but at the same time the communication or these little things need to be understood before we jump into these things. So for me it's been a constant understanding or learning to something bigger, to move towards something bigger. I don't know what it is, but I know
awesome.
that is where I want to be.
That's kind of the best part, is that you're letting it, define itself as it kind of comes to fruition, right? It's like you don't know what it is, but you're working towards something bigger, that's really exciting. And I think that's a common sentiment in Web3. I mean, I feel similarly here with the podcast, like I love these conversations. We continue to build out, we continue to branch out the network and meet awesome new builders and creators and continue to touch base with builders like yourself who we've talked to before, but it's always something new. There's always something happening. It's always some new envelope kind of being pushed. So it's really exciting, man. And congratulations for everything that you've already accomplished and what you will surely accomplish into the future. So I got to ask on the Nifty Kit drop, right? So everyone's got to check it out on niftykit.com. You can just look up blockchain jewelry. Look up this awesome music video. If you missed it off the top when I played it, you're going to want to check it out and consider buying it. So I have to ask, you have your mint out. It's a 5-day mint, at least to start. Why did you decide to go with the 5-day mint? And I guess that ends tomorrow night, I believe. So that'll be Sunday, June 25th. How are you feeling about it? Oh, Ingrid says she collected hers too. I collected mine. I might have to get a second one. We'll see. But yeah, it's really cool. Definitely recommend everyone check it out. Nifty Kit, and check out Jigar's Twitter as well, at Metavoxelz with a Z at the end, because he put a really good explanation of just how this all came together, how collaborating with these people has been so rewarding for you. So that's really awesome, man. But yeah, 5-day mint. Why did you decide to go with that?
We didn't know we didn't come to a specific number of NFTs, that editions that we want to put out, because it's a music NFT, and I think the more people have it makes more sense. But at the same time, we also wanted to have a specific number, and to reach there, I think having a timeline or specific date till which you have it open makes more sense for music, at least at this point of time. Maybe there are more things that come in the future, but for music NFTs, the rarity of having a one-of-one music NFT does not make sense.
No, that doesn't work.
And also having an unlimited number of NFTs for an endless period of time also do not add. I mean, it takes off a little of value of having that NFT.
Yeah.
So I think it was important to set a date and a time limit. We might extend the thing, but for now we are pretty keen on ending it tomorrow night, on Sunday, 25th.
All right, so people got just over 24 hours, maybe 36 hours about to try to take advantage of that. Like I said, I really think it's historic. I don't think a music video of this caliber with this amount of detail, especially in voxels, exists. It's like, imagine building a whole music video in Minecraft, and I'm sure someone's done that out there on YouTube. There's all kinds of Minecraft videos, but this is even a next step above that, because you can create the assets in Voxels, which is somewhat comparable to Minecraft, but then taking it into the Blender and actually having it, animated is next level, and you sharing kind of the amount of time and attention to detail that required, and how many you kind of had to throw off the draft table and rework. It's really impressive. It's really something, and I do hope that it will reach whatever that goal is that you guys had internally, because I think it deserves that amount of value, and I think it will have a lot of provenance into the future, especially as Kane Mayfield, Low Sleazy, DJ Booman, and even Trash Lights. You know, he's got his real IRL band as well. As they continue to build up and do things in Web3, this is always going to be the first Metaverse music video they ever did, you know? So I'm really excited about it. I look forward to seeing where it goes from here. You did touch briefly on a phygital idea, right? So the idea that you're going to attach, you know, maybe some kind of 3D printed actual IRL asset to a sale of an NFT, and maybe your collectors get them. Have you tinkered with anything phygital yet? And how do you plan to kind of do that into the future if you were to take that phygital route?
Again, like I said, I'm still working out on the NFT dynamics. But I want to build a brand. I am trying to learn about the tags, you know, like NFC tags right now. I've just come across that if you scan the NFC tag with your phone, it pops up, the NFT pops up on the phone, and so you can know the provenance of that thing. So there are different things that I'm learning. My main motivation is that people, the collectors who support my art would get a physical representation of it, which they don't have to just keep at their home. But there are all these events that happen, NFT events that happen around the world. So something that they can wear or flex while they're at those events. At the same time, make something that they like wearing, not just because they bought an NFT. Right. So these are different aspects that I am trying to cater to and work out something that supports me. And at the same time, I don't know. I want this to connect to my newfound love for animation. So I'm trying to connect all of them. The physical, the animation part, the metaverse part of it. It's too much, but somehow, so far, it looks pretty possible. So I think in a couple of weeks or something, I think I'll be ready with something good.
Nice. Sure. Well, we'll be keeping our eyes out for that for sure, Jigar. It's amazing, man. And on the music video, do you foresee any kind of token gated experiences for the collectors of the video? Maybe like a concert in the metaverse that holders get, maybe only the ones who get access, or they get some kind of special access. Anything like that? Have you guys looked into any kind of token gated experiences as a result of this music video?
So as of now, like I said, all the assets and all the sets that we have in the video, I am trying to put them at a metaverse plot. So once that is done, we definitely are up for a party.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that metaverse plot, you think it'll be one of Low Sleazy's, or are you going to use this Metavoxelz headquarters too that I'm kind of wandering around in right now?
We can do multiple plots. Which, you know, with their portals, then there's the metaverse, you know, the more you add, it's more fun. So yeah, exactly. Maybe, like I said, also having all those sets at one particular place becomes difficult in Voxels. So I'm also looking, because these are 3D files and you can, you know, convert them to different formats. Right. I use the same things in different metaverse platforms as well, and that also helps me in learning about more platform and expanding. So
yeah, that's amazing.
I have to check out Monaverse. Is something that I felt is promising in future, and I'm going to try seeing if I can fit all those sets, all those animations in Monaverse.
Wow.
If not, Voxels, and that's also something that's up.
But Monaverse would be more Unity based or even Unreal based, right? Like it wouldn't be a Voxels, it wouldn't be quite as voxely.
Yes, but the 3D assets, if I use Voxels assets, it's and my passion is Voxels, and that is something that I think, you know, even if at a time where they're going to be, or everyone's going to have an HD avatar, having a Voxels avatar is still going to be nostalgic, still going to remind you of the 80s. So there is going to be time for an HD where everyone will have an HD, high definition, high quality avatar. But then everyone, what is identity though? Everyone wants to look different or something for different And I think that will always keep a value for voxel avatars for me.
Nice. So even when the high fidelity avatars are taking over, you'll still be repping your Voxels avatar and looking all nostalgic, and it'll be rare. There'll be extra rare versions of avatars that be like, hey, how'd you get that? Where'd you get that?
And all the avatars that I've already done for people, I have them saved, and they would, as new platforms come in, I would always be giving them the same avatars, in whatever formats the platforms require. So
that's awesome. So you're almost kind of like a one-man interoperability machine. What do you make of all this talk of interoperability and these blockchains out there trying to make it easier? Do you think they're kind of overstating the problem?
They definitely are overstating the problem.
Right.
I don't know. It's possible, because usually it doesn't take much to transfer one 3D format to another 3D format, until and unless it's an engineering product or something like that, where you have micro. You need to be the accuracy of every part should be in micro millimeters. So other than that, I don't think it's a problem. It's mostly the problem is with the bandwidth. Like I've always specified, Yeah, having everyone at the same server, thousands of people in one specific server becomes very difficult. So as soon as that is solved, the keys, the softwares, the codes, the commands are already ready, is what I know.
Yeah, no doubt. So it's not as big of a difficulty as they kind of make it out to be. And I think about it like from my gaming perspective, and I feel like I've said this in a previous interview with you actually, but I just want to reiterate, like when we think about it, because everyone knows the metaverse essentially owes its like origination to video games, essentially, you could say, right? Like digital spaces, video games. And when you look at games, people are cool with having their Fortnite space, having their Grand Theft Auto space, having their Roblox or their Minecraft, and like nobody's saying I want to take my Minecraft stuff into Roblox. Nobody's saying I want to take my Fortnite stuff into Call of Duty, right? Like it's just not a thing. So I feel like that's my mindset when I hear the conversation. Like I get it, and I do see the value in being able to jump from one to another, which right now is already pretty much possible just through links, right? You can just jump from Sandbox to Voxels or whatever the case may be, right? And yeah, your assets can also jump from one to another if you know how to do it and make them interoperable. So yeah, I agree with what you're saying, and I think it's a interesting counterpoint, because there's a lot of money going into interoperability right now, and a lot of blockchains kind of patting themselves on the back that they've made these great, strides in interoperability. And I look at it, I look under the hood, and I read what they're describing, and I'm like, it seems like you're solving a problem that doesn't really exist to the extent that you say it does.
I'd like to put some light on that. I'd like to now understand this.
Yeah.
People still spend money on the skins and different avatars in this game, right?
Yeah.
Now with interoperability and the metaverse, if you have these skins that identify yourself, that is your brand. People are looking at it, identify it as you, then it takes it on a different level, because that skin in that game while playing that game is you. Tomorrow there are 10 people or 20,000 people who can have the same skin, but when you have a specific avatar that represents you in your social medias, across across metaverse platform, then having the special powers, or having a cool
that's like a super brand almost.
And nostalgic, and in the movies that you've seen in the past, you being able to do like a Hadouken from Street Fighter or something like that. Yeah. The feeling is wonderful. I am a big Street Fighter fan, and I am a big Ninja Turtle fan. The last Ninja Turtle movie, like I was so excited and waiting for someone to say Kawabanga in the whole movie,
right,
because it adds up. It brings back your childhood. And that is, if you've been following my journey in the NFT space, I am all about Easter eggs and bringing these nostalgic moments back, because it's something that's special to me, and I believe if it is for me, it would be for others as well.
No doubt. I think you're tapping into something, Jigar. It's really, really cool, man. All right. Well, we'll be winding down here. I know we've hit the hour mark. I know it's late for you. I got one more question. Anybody in the chat who has a question, now's your time to ask them as we are about to shut down. But definitely, you've kind of alluded to this a little bit, but just want to give you the opportunity to promote any kind of other projects you've got going on. We're definitely sending everybody to your Twitter to check out this music video and support this project that you've got launching right now, available for one more day. But what is on the horizon for Metavoxelz? What can we look forward to, Jigar?
It'll be better. It's always going to be better than the previous one. There's more things I'm learning, adding more things and more people. My main key aim is to try to, if the artists around me, if I have been able to succeed in some or the other way in this space, it's not me. It's because of the people that have been positive, that I've been constantly learning for, who've been there for me. And progressing alone is not going to make sense. And I see a lot of scope, a lot of talented people in this space where who I am a fan of. And I want to do something where everyone can work towards, growing, have fun and see things the way I think, or we like me, Kane, Low, I think we have a different approach and we are trying to do something different, which is difficult, but I think together we can make it happen. And that is my aim. I want to see a lot of us go together. Yeah.
Overall, you're not discouraged by the collaboration. If anything, you want to see more of it, and you're going to keep pushing.
Keep pushing more, keep doing more. I mean, it's going to be fun. It's going to be just fun.
Yeah, that's exciting, man. I look forward to continuing to check it out and supporting any way I can. And we'll definitely be talking to Kane, talking to Low, DJ Booman, Trash Lights, Hodler, made it all happen, got the recording space, it's awesome, man. So that's the community. It's all coming out and being brought together. And it's a really amazing piece that you've put together. Definitely recommend everybody go check it out. Search Blockchain Jewelry on niftykit.com. And with that, Jigar, I think we're going to let you get some sleep. I appreciate you so much joining us here for the start of season 4. And we'll keep watching. We'll keep pushing your stuff out there. And congratulations on the Blockchain Jewelry drop to you and all the artists involved. It's really amazing, man. Any final words before we shut her down?
Buy my NFT.
Let's go. All right. I appreciate you, Jigar. We'll be in touch. And we'll be back live next week with the Web3 conversations, as always, on Web3 Warriors. Till then, catch you in the metaverse. Peace out, everybody.
Peace.